In this video, we're going to talk about a couple of add-ons for Metasoft that I genuinely view as no-brainers. They're geared towards making sure all of your appointment slots are filled and paid, and the expectation, the reasonable expectation, would be that both of them would produce a lot more money for your practice than they cost. The first one is all about targeting no-show appointments. How many patients do you have that don't show up for their appointments? Probably a fair amount. When that happens, you miss out on the revenue from the appointment, and ultimately you miss out on the revenue from the slot because since the patient was a no-show, you couldn't replace them because you didn't know they weren't coming. If you have 2 no-shows a day and you average $80 a visit, that's costing you $160 a day. That's over $3,500 a month. And if you think about it, most offices have a lot more than 2 no-shows. You know, that's a reasonable number if your staff is actively confirming appointments. If your staff isn't actively confirming appointments, because that's something that takes a lot of time, then you probably have a lot more no-shows. And if you do have your team confirming appointments, how effective really are they? I mean, I know I personally don't really answer my phone from unknown numbers during the workday, and I know that's something that we come across a lot when dealing with patients. It's how effective even is it when you have someone making those phone calls, and what else could they be doing with that time? So CGM Connection is an offering that will send out text message appointment reminders to your patients that they then have the ability to either confirm or cancel right via the text message, and it updates that information in office hours. Any appointments that are canceled are removed from the schedule, therefore allowing someone else to be booked in that slot, and you're still able to see those appointments in the appointment list as canceled appointments. If patients don't want to participate in this, they can opt out via text, or you could do it for them in Metasoft yourself. This was first available in Metasoft version 26. In 26, you did have to opt in individual patients one at a time, which works, but could be a little time consuming. In version 27, we have a utility that will go ahead and basically turn everybody on, which to me works better. So for only $49 a month, all right? For $49 a month, you can have up to 900 transactions. Now, keep in mind, each outbound message is a transaction, but so is each reply. So if everybody replied, this would be like 450 appointments you could confirm. Realistically, not everyone is going to reply, so it's probably more, between 450 and 600. And if you go over the 900, it's a nickel per overage, so it's not, a big deal. And I do want to say, a lot of you are probably saying, my patients won't do this. My patients are Medicare patients. They're too old. They're not going to do this. No, I don't accept that anymore. We've got a podiatry practice that we bill for. Their longtime office manager always said that she wouldn't try it. She left. Her replacement tried it. They turned it on. They're almost entirely Medicare. I mean, probably 95% Medicare aged. And on any given day, they get between 60 and 75% of their patients are actually confirming the appointments. The thing we have to remember, Medicare aged patients are 65 and up. Patients in the 65 to 75, even 80 age range have been text messaging for 20 years. So this is not something that is new and unreal to them. Chances are they're probably getting text-based appointment reminders from other doctors or other services, and this is something that's become a bit more normalized. So your patients will do it, and the reality is, for $49 a month, if it saves you a single no-show, just one, you're already making a profit on it. So that's why I genuinely view this as a no-brainer, because at $49 a month, you only need one, and you're going to get a lot more than one. All right. So that's CGM Connection. It does work from starting with Metasoft 26 and up. Under normal circumstances, it does have an onboarding fee of like $250, but through the end of 2023, that onboarding fee is $0. It has been waived. So I would strongly recommend that you jump on this now, regardless of what version of Metasoft you're on. It's easier with 27, but it does work in 26. All right, so that is text message based appointment reminders. This next one is like my biggest pet peeve, all right? As someone who spent the last, I don't know, 6-7 years running a medical billing service, it drives me insane when patients are being seen and their insurance is invalid. This drives me nuts. When patients show up, all right, if they don't show up, rather, at least you didn't waste time seeing the patient, okay? But when they did come in and their insurance is bad, how many patients a week do you see with outdated or wrong insurance? When that happens, you miss out on the revenue from the visit, and then you have to spend time chasing the patient down to get the correct information and refile the claim, assuming you know about it in time, right? There's timely filing deadlines on all of these insurance companies. If you're not working your aging regularly, you may not even be aware of it. If you have 5 of these a week and make an average of $80 a visit, this is costing you $400 a week. This is not a nothing kind of problem. And in the beginning of the year, I hate to say it, but when patients get new insurance in January and you're not checking eligibility, this could be 25% of your schedule. All right. So eligibility is available in Metasoft. It will run overnight on the patients on your schedule, so you know before you see them in the morning if the insurance information is right. It will give you current copay, coinsurance, and deductible information so you can collect the correct amount of money. And if you have eMedix as your clearinghouse, it only costs you $99 per provider per month for claims, ERA, and eligibility. And I can tell you that's less for the majority of our clients than they're currently paying for claims and ERA. So for a lot of practices, this is like free. You just have to switch to eMedix. And it's one of those things where you can benefit by seeing your patients and not having to chase them down. All right. So to get started, you can purchase your upgrade to CGM Metasoft by calling our office. Pre-sale discounts, while they do go through the early part of December, the earliest ones are going to end October 12th. If you don't have a quote already, call the office, but probably check your email. You probably do. All right, and then reach out to us to sign up for CGM Connection and eMedix. All right, both of these are no-brainer kind of add-ons to your Metasoft, and they can be added on to versions as far back as 26. All right, and for those of you, you may have watched some other of these videos that showed some of the eligibility stuff. In the old days, yeah, insurance eligibility was an 8-page long report that I even told. We took it off people's contracts. It was so bad. That is not the case anymore. All right, it looks good. The screen is clean. And with eMedix, it'll even take the copay, coinsurance, and deductible and pull those out and drop them at the top of transaction entries starting in version 27. So it's definitely much easier to use than it used to be. And once again, it's going to make you a lot more money for your practice if you make sure you can actually get paid for all of the patients that you see. Thanks a lot.